Standing strong.
Oh yeah, yeah, the crowd is buzzing. A new dawn rising, feel it coming. Oh yeah, RFK's got the call to bring the cure. Health and hope, the people want more. Judges pause, they feel the tide. J6 whispers, will justice collide? The pulse of the nation's beating strong. Together we'll right the rights and wrongs. Clear the slate, feel the power rise. Oh yeah, truth is shining, cutting through the lies. We're building health, we're chasing dreams. Under the banner of red, white, and blue. Yeah, yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Unyielding crowd against the storms and a judgment cloud. No room for hate in disaster's way. Equality's roots, they'll never break. Constitutionalists for America's call. From the eyes of the land to the courtroom halls. Justice waits as the pendulum swings. A new song rises, let freedom ring. Clear the slate with the funk divine. Oh yeah, stand together, let the nation shine. From Go Right News, the stories flow. United hearts, it's a cosmic show. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Capital echoes with hopes renewed. Healing wounds, it's overdue. Presidential pens, they write the fate. Will tomorrow's promise eradicate hate? Oh yeah, yeah, the future's bright. Under the liberty of America, justice takes flight. RFK's mission, Trump's new song. It's a journey where we all belong. Clear the slate with the nation's soul. Oh yeah, building bridges, making people whole. Justice, health, and unity's key. Together strong, that's the destiny. Yeah, yeah, oh, clear the slate. Slate. Let justice and love navigate. Go Right News, the path is clear. For a brighter future, we persevere. Oh yeah.
They said he was done forever.
He is done.
The end of this Trump era.
There'll be new faces and new voices.
The final chapter of Donald Trump.
I don't know what the future of this party can be.
The movement we started is only just beginning.
The entire system went after
Mar-a-Lago was raided by FBI.
New York indictment.
A sweeping indictment in
Donald
Georgia.
Trump says he's been indicted again.
I was shot with a bullet that pierced the upper part of my right ear.
But he never stopped fighting for you.
I will never stop fighting for you, your family, and our magnificent country.
And we will win, win, win. We're going to win, win, win.
Thank you, President Trump, for fighting for us. The greatest political comeback in American history.
Donald Trump has been elected president.
Now, it's time we fight for you.
The golden age of America, that's what we have to.
The best is yet to come.
Welcome back to hashtag Go Right with Peter Boykin, where we dive deep into the heart of what's moving our constitutional republic. As we stand on the cusp of a new era under President-elect Donald Trump, the political landscape is as turbulent as a Florida hurricane. But let's not let the media storm clouds dampen our spirits. Imagine this: the left is in full panic mode, branding everyone from the local sheriff to the new HHS Director as Putin puppets are unfit. Even so many are saying that Donald Trump stole the election, that Elon Musk helped Donald Trump steal the election, which is funny considering, and ironic considering they're saying the same things that we, the Trump people, complained about in the 2020 election. So, to prove their theory that the election was stolen in 2024, it would prove that we were right about 2020. But we know that the election was not stolen here in 2024, that Donald Trump won fair and square. So as we sip our adult beverages, let's take a moment to appreciate the irony and enjoy the spectacle of their meltdown as we continue our journey to make America great again. We'll be right back. Remember, we fight for what's right because it's time to go right.
Time to go right. Time to go right. Time to go right.
In a move that's set to redefine health policy in our nation, President-elect Donald Trump has announced Robert F. Kennedy Jr. as the new Director of Health and Human Services, HHS. Trump took to Truth Social to share his vision. Quote, "For far too long, Americans have been crushed by the industrial food complex and drug companies who have engaged in deception, misinformation, and disinformation when it comes to public health. Mr. Kennedy will restore these agencies to the traditions of gold standard scientific research and beacons of transparency to end the chronic disease epidemic and to make America great and healthy again." Now, Kennedy's role will be pivotal, overseeing the CDC, FDA, and NIH, and other health agencies. His mantle includes managing not just physical health policies, but also mental health, public health initiatives, and welfare programs. This appointment signals a significant shift towards transparency and a crackdown in what Kennedy describes as corruption within these sectors. Now, with an eye on chronic diseases like obesity, cancer, and diabetes, Kennedy aims to dismantle the influence of Big Pharma over public health policy. His approach, while controversial, focuses on questioning established health protocols like the vaccine schedule, which he believes might contribute to negative health outcomes. Now, the markets didn't take this news lying down. Shares of major pharmaceutical giants like Moderna, AstraZeneca, and GSK saw a dip, reflecting investor concerns over potential policy shifts that can impact these companies' revenue streams. Kennedy himself has expressed his commitment to Trump's vision with, quote, "Thank you, real Donald Trump, for your leadership and courage. I'm committed to advancing your vision to make America healthy again. Let's go." We'll see what happens in the future. We'll be right back.
When I did Rocky, if you remember, the first image was a picture of Jesus, and it says Resurrection AC Club. I found a church that had been converted to a boxing ring. So the image pans down from Jesus onto Rocky being hit. And at that moment, he was a chosen person, and that's how I began the journey. Something was going to happen. This man was going to go through a metamorphosis and change lives, just like President Trump. We are in the presence of a really mythical character. I love mythology. And this individual does not exist on this planet. Nobody in the world could have pulled off what he pulled off, so I'm in awe. And I'll just say this, and I mean it. When George Washington defended his country, he had no idea that he was going to change the world. Because without him, you can imagine what the world would look like. Guess what? We got the second George Washington. Congratulations! But
and I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free, and I won't forget the men who died. And I'm proud to be an American.
please welcome the President of the United States, Donald Trump. Thank you.
The men who died, who gave that right to me, and I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
The waiting game for justice, an unprecedented twist in the legal saga surrounding the defendants of January 6th Capitol incident. Federal judges have hit the pause button on ongoing cases. These cases are not about new evidence or legal technicalities. Rather, they hinge on the potential for President-elect Donald Trump to intervene with his executive powers, and here's what's unfolding. Judicial decisions, 2 U.S. federal judges, in a move that's caught both supporters and critics off guard, have agreed to postpone the legal proceedings for individuals charged in connection with the January 6 events. This decision comes after defense attorneys for those defendants argued that their clients should not face trial given the likelihood of presidential action in their favor. Now, the rationale behind these postponements is deeply rooted in the anticipation of what Trump might do once he assumes office again. There's a widespread belief, especially among conservative circles, that Trump might use his constitutional right to pardon or outright dismiss the charges against these individuals, labeling them as victims of political persecution. Now, Donald Trump has the pardon power. The President of the United States has the authority to grant pardons for federal offenses, except in cases of impeachment. This power, vested by Article 2, Section 2 of the U.S. Constitution, allows Donald Trump, should he choose, to absolve January 6 defendants of their legal consequences, effectively wiping their slate clean. Now, there's some implications for this rule of law. This situation brings to the forefront the delicate balance between law and politics in a constitutional republic. Critics argue that such delays could undermine the rule of law, suggesting that justice might be swayed by political outcomes rather than legal merits. Then again, do you think these people would have been in jail or locked up if Donald Trump hadn't had 2020 stolen from him? Supporters, however, view this as a necessary correction, asserting that the legal actions against January 6 participants were politically activated and motivated from the start. Now, the public and the legal have an opinion. The move has sparked a significant debate. Legal experts are split. Some see it as appropriate acknowledgement of the upcoming administration's potential policies, while others fear it dilutes the immediacy and certainty of legal accountability. Public opinion, particularly among conservative and libertarian groups, largely leans toward seeing these defendants as having been unfairly targeted. Now, as we look ahead, as we await for Trump's inauguration, the legal community, the defendants, and their families are in limbo. The decisions by the judges reflect a broader narrative where legal proceedings are now tied to the political calendar, demonstrating how deeply politics can affect the justice system. Now, this unfolding scenario poses fundamental questions about justice, political power, and the integrity of the legal processes in America. Whether these delays lead to pardons or a continuation of legal battles, it's a moment where the wheels of justice are dynamically influenced by the political winds of change. I, for one, would like to see our January 6 prisoners our political prisoners let go. If anything, they should get the same type of justice that, or criminal, whatever they would call it, as anybody else would get, especially the left, if they had done the similar thing. Because the left has done stuff like this throughout Donald Trump's reign, throughout Biden's reign, before, and Obama's reign, and they have not come down as hard as they have on the January 6th people. And I also believe that there needs to be a massive lawsuit, class action lawsuit, and the government really needs to put people back where they were before, because this is a stain on their record no matter if they're released or not. Many people have lost their jobs, their livelihood, and they need to be made right. We'll be right back.
Interesting, just a short time ago this morning, the hosts of MSNBC's Morning Joe program announced that they privately met face-to-face with Donald Trump at Mar-a-Lago on Friday. They said it was their first meeting with him in 7 years, and that while they disagree with him on a variety of topics, they agreed to reopen lines of communication, saying they don't want to just talk about Donald Trump, they want to start talking to him again. We'll send it back to you.
That if that came, we're just hearing that too, Bill. That is probably the most magnanimous thing any individual in America has done in a long time.
They called him every name under the sun.
For 3 years, they called him fascist, Hitler.
Yep.
Every day, at every panel, there was nobody even to say, ever since Harold Ford left that building, there was not one person saying anything nice about Trump. And for him to take that, what is it, breakfast?
It just shows you, though, that he does want, to smooth things over. Maybe he is going to unite our country. And like you said earlier, everyone's doing the dances out on the...
Right. Hey, Bill, when Rachel Maddow shows up at Mar-a-Lago, can we make that a Fox News alert?
Well, if we can get a camera down there, we'll show it to you guys live.
All right, thank
In the wake of devastating hurricanes, Florida has stepped into a contentious legal arena by filing a lawsuit against the Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA, charging the agency with systemic discrimination against its residents based on political preference. Here's a deeper look into the controversy. Now, here's the background of the lawsuit. The lawsuit stems from allegations that in the aftermath of recent hurricanes, FEMA workers were instructed to bypass homes displaying signs or flags in support of President-elect Donald Trump. This directive was proportionally communicated through internal FEMA communications, where entries like Trump signs no entry per leadership were made by agency staff. Now, according to the whistleblower's revelation, according to their accounts, this practice led to at least 20 homes with pro-Trump signage being skipped over for aid in Lake Placid, Florida. These claims suggested a coordinated effort within FEMA to withhold assistance from those perceived as political opponents, raising serious questions about the impartiality of federal disaster response efforts. We've also felt this in what's going on in North Carolina. Hasn't been proved one way or the other, but considering what's going on in Florida, it kind of puts two and two together. Now, FEMA had a response. Following the revelation of these allegations, FEMA took swift action by firing the supervisor involved, whom they identified as Marini Washington. FEMA's administration, Diane Criswell, labeled the action as reprehensible and a clear violation of the agency's core values of aiding all citizens irrespective of political affiliation. Now, despite this, Washington has maintained that her instructions were part of a broader systemic approach within FEMA, not an isolated incident. We talked about this previously, and I tend to believe her because people who were boldly hating Donald Trump had no problem saying they hated Donald Trump. The way she's carried this out, it could be her covering her own butt, but she's not bold about it, and she literally is saying, that's what my boss has told me. I kind of believe her until proven otherwise. Now, the incident has fueled a political firestorm with figures like Florida Governor Ron DeSantis and Attorney General Ashley Moody leading the charge against what they describe as targeted discrimination. DeSantis has publicly supported the lawsuit and has called for state-level investigations to ensure accountability and to prevent future occurrences. Now, Florida's lawsuit filed in federal court seeks punitive damages against the former FEMA supervisor and the current FEMA administrator, alleging a conspiracy to infringe upon the civil rights of Trump-supporting Floridians. The case could potentially redefine how political bias is addressed within federal agencies tasked with public service and emergency management. Now, there's some broader implications. This legal action raises significant concerns about the integrity of disaster relief efforts. If political affiliations can sway aid distribution, it undermines the public's trust in government agencies meant to serve without prejudice. The lawsuit also brings attention to the potential for federal agencies to be politicized, highlighting the need for strict oversight and transparency in their operations. Now, this lawsuit has not only captured headlines, but has also ignited public discourse in social media and among political commentators. Me as well. With many expressing outrage over what they perceive as abuse of power. The outcome of this case could set a precedent for how political neutrality is enforced in federal aid programs. Now, moving forward as the legal proceedings advance, the focus will be uncovering the extent of this alleged practice within FEMA and determining the culpability of those involved. Meanwhile, Floridians affected by the hurricanes and potentially by this discrimination await justice and a reassurance that aid will be provided solely based on need, not political allegiance. This lawsuit by Florida against FEMA is more than a legal battle. It's a fight for the principle that is in our constitutional republic. Aid should be apolitical, ensuring all citizens, regardless of how they vote, receive equal treatment in times of crisis. We'll be right back with our hashtag GoRight recap.
Yeah, the crowd's buzzing. A new dawn, rise and feel it coming. Oh yeah, RFK's got the call to bring the cure. Health and hope, the people want more. Judges pause, they feel the tide. J6 whispers, will justice collide? The pulse of a nation, it's beating strong. Together we'll right the rights and wrongs. Clear the slate, feel the power rise. Oh yeah, truth is shining, cutting through the lies. We're building health, we're chasing dreams under the banner of red, white, and blue. Yeah, yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Florida stands unyielding proud. Oh yeah. Against the storms in a judgment cloud. No room for hate in disaster's wake. Equality's roots, they'll never break. Constitutionalists for America's call. From the highs of the land to the courtroom halls. Justice waits as the pendulum swings. A new sun rises, let freedom ring. Clear the slate with the funk divine. Oh yeah, stand together, let the nation shine. From Go Right News, the stories flow. United hearts, it's a cosmic show. Oh yeah, oh yeah. The Capitol echoes with hopes renewed. Healing wounds, it's overdue. Presidential pens, they write the fate. Will tomorrow's promise eradicate hate? Oh, yeah. Oh, America, justice takes flight. RFK's mission, Trump's new song is a journey where we all belong. Clear the slate with the nation's soul. Oh yeah, building bridges, making people whole. Justice, health, and unity's key. Together strong, that's the destiny. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, oh yeah, yeah. Clear the slate. Let justice and love navigate. Go right news. The path is clear. For a brighter future, we persevere. Oh yeah, feel the change, together we'll clear the slate.
Welcome back to our hashtag GoRight recap. In this episode, we've covered the groundbreaking appointment of Robert F. Kennedy Jr. at HHS, promising a health revolution, and the judicial pause on J6 cases in anticipation of presidential actions, and Florida's stand against potential political discrimination and disaster relief. These stories are not just news. They are a pulse of a nation striving for health, justice, and resilience under new leadership. Remember, in this constitutional republic, your voice matters. For more insights into these developments and how they affect our liberties, head over to GoRightNews.com. Don't forget to check us out on Rumble. Listen to hashtag GoRight with Peter Boykin on platforms like Spreaker, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, YouTube, TikTok, and Twitter. And engage with us on Twitter and other social media. Support our mission by donating via Cash App or visiting peterboykin.com or gorightnews.com to find the links to donate and other ways you can join the fight. Let's keep moving forward because together we're going to make America right again. God bless everybody. Peace.
It's time to go right. Let the truth ignite. We're bringing right news into the light. With Peter Boykin at the helm, we're taking a stand. Constitutionalist for America, we protect this land. Welcome to the place where opinions align. With liberty's flame, our voices combine. Citizen journalism, honest and true. Let's go right, it's the podcast for you. Welcome to the place where opinions align. With liberty's flame, our voices combine. Citizen journalism, honest and true. Let's go right, it's the podcast for you. It's time to go right. Let the truth ignite. We're bringing right news into the light. With Peter Boykin at the helm, we're taking a stand. Constitutionalist for America, we protect this land. Welcome to the place where opinions align. With liberty's flame, our voices combine. Citizen journalism, honest and true. Let's go right, it's the podcast for you. opinions align with liberty's flame, our voices combine. Citizen journalism, honest and true. Let's go right, it's the podcast for you. Welcome to the place where opinions align with liberty's flame, our voices combine. Citizen journalism, honest and true. Let's go right, it's the podcast for you. Welcome to the place.
Tulsi Gabbard goes to these a lot. She loves it. She was all in on it. So it was cool for me as someone who's covered the sport to sit back and watch all of these luminaries and all of these, you know, big names in our government watching it and absorbing it.
Okay, and so we're looking at the walk-in, but at one point Donald Trump did what he is now also famous for. He started to do that Trump dance, which is sweeping the nation. Describe what you saw him do. There it is right there. It's that thing with the hand and it's the back and forth. Can you explain why that's so popular?
I was so grateful that I had already been rolling to get that video. One of my favorite things is just to the left. You can see RFK Jr., who's watching him and cracking up. I just wonder what's going through his mind with all of this. I interviewed him back in May when he was, you know, anti-Trump, anti-Biden, and now he's standing there laughing at the dance. The entire place was waiting for it. The entire place went crazy. And if you watch social media, it's so awesome to see kind of this spreading around the sports world, you know, and the NFL and everywhere else. So how a couple of weeks changes things, huh?
Yeah, and there's a boxer doing it, and let's see, Sunday night at Las Vegas tight end Brock Bowers did the Donald Trump thing and then was asked about it later, and then as it turns out, as soon as that question was asked, then they pulled the plug on the press conference, I believe.
Isn't that funny? Yeah, isn't that funny? I do think, listen, as a former ESPN Disney employee, we know that this airs on ESPN Plus. It's pay-per-view, and I was smiling, and I know many other people were too, because you can't cut away from John Bones Jones doing the Trump dance in the middle of the octagon for what he did when he won. So it was so incredible, and hopefully all these media companies and everybody else just softens. Let's just stop the divisiveness. Enjoy what this is. These are athletes celebrating victories, bringing people together. So to watch Trump, by the way, just absorbing all of that as well and enjoying it and laughing at John. And John came, and I recorded a solid minute video of John going back and forth. And then he looked and he went, oh my God, Elon. Oh my God, Kid Rock. John Jones was in awe of who was there to watch him. There's so much positivity, and I love the feeling that this country has changed with Donald Trump there, and this is further proof.
Well, you know what, Sage? America needs to have a little fun. And if a little of that dancing is fun, bring it on. I'm just saying. Hey, tell your dad I'm glad he had a nice time in New York City over the weekend. Thanks to Dana White.
Thank you. I will. He's still on cloud nine. Basically, I'm the best child.
Trump's got the hammer and it's time to strike. Breaking through the noise, setting it right. Draining the swamp, it's a brand new fight. Truth bombs dropping, lighting up the night. Trump's got the hammer and it's time to strike. Breaking through the noise, setting it right. Draining the swamp, it's a brand new fight. Truth bombs dropping, lighting up the night. The night, 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 the lighting up the lighting, the night, the night, the night, the night, the lighting, the lighting, the lighting up the night. Trump's got the hammer and it's time to strike. Breaking through the noise, setting it right. Draining the swamp, it's a brand new fight. Truth bombs dropping, lighting up the night. Trump stop the man with the mega mic. Trump stop the man with the mega mic. The swamp is trembling. Feel the quake, oh yeah. Trump's got the moves, the power play is on display. Mac gets toasty, Ruby rise. Magathon to rolling, no compromise. Grassroots roaring, we're in the fight. Constitutionalists for liberty shining bright. Yeah, the fire's lit. It's time to take back bit by bit. Yeah, yeah, shake it up, shake it down. It's a swamp shakedown, oh yeah. From the people to the leaders, taking back our ground. Go right news, bringing truth, bold and loud. We're marching forward, heads unbowed. Oh, John 2 rises, the Senate's call. But the grassroots voice is above it all. Meanwhile, Biden's policies bring us pain. Inflation climbing, it's a heavy chain. But Trump he's fighting, the table set for a new chapter this nation won't forget. Oh yeah, the winds of change. The constitutional republic will rearrange. Yeah, turn it up. Feel the groove, it's accountability time, oh yeah. Dogs is here, making government alive. From Hollywood lights to the factory floor. Trump's building bridges, opening doors. FEMA's bias, disaster sting. But truth is power, and we're the kings. Fox keeps rocking while trust betrayed. CNN and MSNBC, their light fades. Low-income voters see the way. With the GOP, there's a brighter day. Ooh, yeah, we're here to stay. Taking back freedom, the American way. Woo! Raise your voice, make it loud. This is the people's jam, oh yeah. No bias, no lies, just truth from Uncle Sam. Go by news, the beacon shining bright. In this constitutional fight, we own the night. Ooh, yeah, yeah. Ooh, we're rising, the swamp can't hold us. Oh no, we're thriving. Keeps dancing, drums keep pounding, bassline rolling, never ending. Oh, from Joe Right News to the Capitol floor, we're reclaiming America and so much more.
It's okay.
I assume that's the horse?
Never assume. When you assume, you make an asshole out of yourself.
Hi, folks, and welcome to hashtag Go Right with Peter Boykin. Since I took a day off of podcasting, there's a lot of news to go over today, so this might be a larger podcast than usual. But there's a lot of information that's gone on since Donald Trump has basically won the election. So as Democrats begin to autopsy the corpse of their 2024 campaign strategy, one left-wing polling firm has released exit polls that highlight how deeply out of touch they are with the American people. Over 3,200 Americans were asked why they did not support Kamala Harris. Their answers: inflation, illegal immigration, and her focus on trans issues. All I can say is, duh. These issues strike at the core of what working class Americans care about. I don't really understand the trans issues that much, but whatever. And Democrats seem to be missing the mark by miles. So welcome to hashtag Go Right with Peter Boykin. Today we're diving into some explosive headlines that reveal just how much the GOP has gained ground how the Democrats have distanced themselves from reality, and how a potential new federal department could shake up Washington's entrenched bureaucracy. Let's get into it. So today on hashtag Go Right with Peter Boykin, we're diving into a critical update on President-elect Donald Trump's legal battles. A New York judge has delayed a decision on whether Trump's recent conviction could hold up in light of a major Supreme Court ruling on presidential immunity. This case could set a new precedent for future presidents and raises big questions about the scope of executive power in our constitutional republic. Stay tuned. This is an issue every American should be paying attention to. Remember, we fight for what's right because it's time to go right.
Time to go right. Time to go right. Time to go right.
Welcome back to hashtag Go Right. I am your host, Peter Boykin, a constitutionalist for liberty. So in a historic shift, the GOP has won the support of low-income voters, a demographic that hasn't sided with Republicans since 1960s. In an unexpected twist, Hollywood actor Michael Douglas, a prominent Democrat, publicly acknowledged this realignment, saying Republicans under Donald Trump have become the party of the people, while Democrats are increasingly viewed as elitist. This stark admission from a figure in Hollywood underscores a reality Democrats may not want to face. They've lost touch with the concerns of everyday Americans. And with that, I'd like to tell the people I've been saying, look, for any liberal out there, lefty out there that's going through the TDS and screaming and shaving your hair and et cetera, well, it's your fault, really. It's them fault. Because you could have let Donald Trump win in 2020. Instead, y'all did everything in your power to cheat, to keep us from talking about it, to take down people who talked about it, to throw people in jail who dared protest about it, and you did everything in your power to try to throw Donald Trump in jail, and you even had people who tried to assassinate him. A bullet actually hit Donald Trump. And if you hadn't done all that, Trump would be done being president. And your little nightmare would apparently be over, right? But no, it's gotten worse because inflation is soaring and crime rates are a daily worry for millions. Democrats' answers focus on niche issues and ignore the bread and butter concerns of their base. Republicans, on the other hand, have tapped into these frustrations addressing the cost of living, border security, and education. These are the priorities Americans are asking for, and Republicans are listening. Douglas's reluctant nod to this fact reflects a growing sentiment that the party of the working class is now red, not blue. And I tend to agree. We'll be right back.
Okay, you know what? Let's just agree to disagree, my friend. Okay.
What? Why? No! Former President Donald Trump and now President-elect Donald Trump has launched the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, just like the crypto Doge, which is probably why my little Doge crypto has gone up in value in the last week or so. Now, aiming to restructure federal bureaucracy and eliminate wasteful spending, the department is headed by none other than Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy, two figures who have promised in an era of government transparency and citizen, they promised an area of government transparency and citizen involvement. Now, in Trump's official press release, he stated, quote, "Together, these two wonderful Americans will pave the way for my administration to dismantle government bureaucracy, slash excess regulations, cut wasteful expenditures, and restructure federal agencies." Both Musk and Ramaswamy have teased that citizens will play a major role in Doge's operations. Musk posted on X that all actions by Doge would be publicly available, encouraging the public to weigh in on decisions. Ramswari followed up, noting Doge will soon begin crowdsourcing examples of government waste and abuse, saying Americans deserve a say in government reform. Now, Trump has also set an ambitious timeline, pledging that Doge will root out $6.5 trillion in waste by July 4th, 2026, coinciding with America's 250th anniversary. Wow, that is not too far away. Beyond Doge, Trump announced additional key appointments. South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem as Secretary of Homeland Security, tasked with enhancing border security. Pete Hegseth as Secretary of Defense. And John Radcliffe as the CIA Director. And other high-profile roles, including Representative Mike Waltz as National, not the same one that Kamala was hanging out with, WALTZ, as National Security Advisor, and Governor Mike Huckabee as Ambassador to Israel. Trump's appointments signal a strong push to revigorate government with individuals who prioritize American values and national security.
My gosh. What do you guys think the dynamic is like right now between Kamala Harris and Joe Biden? Do you think there's animosity? Because he's being blamed for a lot of it, and I don't think it's deservedly so. She was just a bad candidate.
Well, actually, let's be very real and honest. The Democrats are in complete disarray right now. They are a party falling apart. They don't understand why they lost. They're blaming one another, and we have to remember, they pulled a coup against Joe Biden. Look, I'm never gonna be someone that apologizes for Joe Biden. As a matter of fact, I think he was the worst president in history. It was his administration. He was the leader of it. But Kamala Harris is completely complicit in all the failed policies. But they removed him out and installed her as the Democrat presidential candidate without a single primary vote. Talk about destruction of democracy. That was the greatest destruction of democracy that we've ever seen in an election outside the stolen election of 2020.
Cable news giants CNN and MSNBC are experiencing significant viewership declines, a trend that accelerated after Donald Trump's victory over Kamala Harris. According to Medialite, both networks saw steep drops, with MSNBC averaging just 596,000 viewers and CNN 419,000, compared to Fox News, which pulled in 2.6 million. The primetime numbers are even worse, with CNN's viewership plummeting by 30% and MSNBC by a staggering 54%. Analysts believe this trend isn't just about the rise of podcasts or streaming alternatives, but a breakdown of trust. Networks like MSNBC and CNN have long pushed narratives such as the Russian collusion hoax, only to have them later debunked. Americans are tired of the ideological slant and have turned away from outlets that seem to prioritize agenda over accuracy. I would also blame the big C that we dealt with for a few years as well. As a result, CNN is reportedly considering mass layoffs with potential hundreds of employees at risk. Puck News even suggests MSNBC's parent company, Comcast, might sell off the network due to low performance. CEO Mike Cavanaugh is considering spinning off several channels. This shift away from legacy media underscores a desire for truth and integrity, and it's no wonder Fox News, by contrast, continues to thrive by retaining viewer trust. Now, to add a little extra note, I don't have it in the news at the moment, but apparently InfoWars by Alex Jones was sold to The Onion. And their website is down right now. Alex Jones is now broadcasting on the Alex Jones Network. I don't know how that exactly works. I mean, I don't really understand the value of InfoWars and all that when people can just do podcasts. But then I also read something about the judge had stopped because they think the sale was sold to The Onion, but the sale was rigged at the last minute. So they've kind of put it off, and so now the sale is not going through. It's confusing. Meanwhile, I know the website's not down, and Alex Jones is like, I'm out, InfoWars, blah, blah, blah. I'm starting my own crap. So there you go. We'll be right back.
And someone feels uncomfortable, we can't go to that home. If you have loose dogs and someone on the team is comfortable with dogs and another person is not, we can't go to that home because of safety precautions.
So you feared the Trump houses. The people on FEMA were fearing the Trump houses like they were fearing people with vicious dogs in their backyard.
Exactly. And that's based on the trends. You can ask FEMA.
A recent controversy has erupted within FEMA after a supervisor who directed relief workers to avoid homes displaying Trump signs was fired. This supervisor, however, claims her orders weren't a personal vendetta, but rather part of a wider FEMA policy indicating a potential institutional bias. Now, in my opinion, it's hard not to believe her story. If this were an isolated, I watched the interview. If this was an isolated incident, the supervisor might have dismissed it as a mistake, but she's asserting it was a policy, not a personal bias. I also would think if it was her personal bias, you've seen how people reacted. They would have no remorse for saying, yes, I did that, blah, blah, blah. Is it an act of her covering herself? I'm not sure. Now, reports from Republican majority areas and states like here in North Carolina support these claims. Residents in this area have complained about neglectful FEMA assistance in comparison to their Democrat-leaning counterparts, reinforcing the idea that bias might be at play. This alleged discrimination in taxpayer-funded relief efforts raises critical questions about FEMA's integrity and the commitment to serving all Americans fairly, regardless of their political affiliations. It's pretty sad that their director, who hates Donald Trump, who they tried to impeach, doesn't know what he's doing, ruining things, would be passing down something like this. And it's not hard to believe that they're doing that. Honestly, if you want Trump supporters, you've already called us terrorists, MAGA, whatever, maggots, and called us trash. Well, I guess you would basically, why not let us die so they wouldn't have that vote for Trump, right? It's pretty bad. That is pretty bad. Just bad.
Raise your voice, make it loud, this is the people's jam. Oh yeah, oh yeah. No bias, no lies, just truth from Uncle Sam. Go write news, the beacon shining bright in this constitutional fight. We own the nights. Oh, no right news to the Capitol floor. We're reclaiming America and so much more. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. We're rising, the swamp can't hold us. Oh no, we're thriving. Piano keeps dancing, drums keep pounding, bassline rolling, never ending. From going news to the Capitol floor, we're reclaiming America and so much more. Oh yeah. Oh, people rise and feel the beat, oh yeah. From every corner to every street, we're building something strong and true. Accountability, long overdue. Hollywood whispers, but we don't wait. In the constitutional republic, we set the fight. Oh yeah, yeah, we're here to make it right. With liberty's fire burning bright. Bring it home, hold the line, straight it's called tonight. Oh yeah, no more shadows, let's step into the light. From the heartland fields to the city streets, this is our stand where the nation meets. Yeah, oh, we're moving on. The swamp's retreating, that old guard's gone. We go right there, fields to the city streets. This is our stand where the nation meets. Retreating, that old guard's gone. With go right news and voices loud, we're America, strong and proud. on, the swamp's retreating, that old guard's gone. With Go Right News and voices loud, we're America, strong and proud.
Imagine waking up every day to gifts that feel like Christmas has come early. For the past week or so, America has been unwrapping these presents left under the tree by President-elect Donald Trump. Trump Claus delivered huge surprises, a cabinet lineup that's causing shockwaves across the establishment, with appointments like Tulsi Gabbard as Director of National Intelligence and Matt Gaetz as Attorney General. The anti-establishment movement isn't just knocking at the door of the swamp, it's kicking it wide open. Welcome to hashtag Go Right with Peter Boykin, where we bring you the news that matters most from a constitutional republic perspective, rooted in liberty and common sense. Let's dive into the top headlines from GoRightNews.com, breaking down the facts and the frenzy surrounding them. And you guessed it, this is the extra credit. Thanks for tuning in to our podcast and keep listening. We'll be right back.
Okay. Well, just moments ago, Senate Majority Leader, the incoming Senate Majority Leader, John Thune, was asked about this nomination. He declined to comment about whether he could support this nomination. This comes as some Republicans, allies of Donald Trump, are warning Senate Republicans not to scuttle this nomination and that there could be backlash if they do.
And what if Senate Republicans don't confirm him?
Well, then they have to deal with Donald Trump, and they'll have to deal with Elon Musk and his great new PAC. So, in the American people, this is a mandate.
Yeah, I want to.
First up, a so-called bittersweet headline, and somebody says I'm not saying the name right, but you know what? I'm not getting paid to say names right, so whatever. Senator John Thune, Thune, has clinched the position of GOP Senate Majority Leader after a tightly contested secret election. Many conservatives were rooting for Rick Scott to take the reins, believing his leadership would better align with the America First policies. Looking at it, he got a 92% conservative scale, but I don't know, being that conservative, it depends on the questions they ask and how they do it, and I do like a more moderate person. So now, while Thune's victory may be victory may not be ideal for a lot, it's a testament to the importance of grassroots activism. So thank you and everyone who called their senators and made their voices heard. And if you're still not happy with the choice, you can still call your senator and say, hey, butthead, I don't like who you picked. What are you doing? But it's a secret ballot, so they may or may not say they did or didn't. Who knows?
Matt Gaetz get the votes in the Senate?
I don't know. You're finding all the swamp creatures coming out right now. Everybody's got an opinion up here, but at the end of the day, President Trump was elected by an enormous vote, and he deserves a team around him that he wants. It's not us to determine that. We've got 53 votes in the Senate. We can confirm with 51. I've already seen where a couple of them says, I'm not voting for him. Wait a minute. You are not the United States of America. You have one vote in the U.S. Senate. You did not get elected president. Vote with President Trump. This is the last chance we're going to have of saving this country. And if you want to get in the way, fine. But we're going to try to get you out of the Senate, too, if you try to do that.
What parts of Trump's...
Did you ever have a family member profit off of the notoriety of any case that you sat over?
Say again, you're asking
yes or no?
You're asking me to comment on a case currently.
Well, it seems you're connecting the dots, Mr. Attorney General. I'm just asking you as to a general principle, but you are aware that Judge Merchan's daughter was profiting off of this prosecution. You are aware that that creates the appearance of impropriety. You know the very reason there's a federal rule against judges giving donations is because it is the very attack on the judicial process that we're concerned about.
I'm sorry, I don't agree with anything you just said, but I'm not going to comment on it.
Okay, so you won't comment on it, Mr. Attorney General, but you had no problem dispatching Matthew Colangelo. Who's Matthew Colangelo?
That is false. I did not dispatch Matthew Colangelo.
Matthew Colangelo became the Assistant Attorney General at the very beginning of the Biden administration. Without having been Senate confirmed, goes and gets this senior role at the DOJ, and then after, I believe it's Gupta replaces Colangelo, Colangelo makes this remarkable downstream career journey from the U.S. Department of Justice in Washington, D.C., and then pops up in Alvin Bragg's office to go get Trump. And you're saying that's just a career choice that was made that has nothing to do with the lawfare coordinated by the DOJ.
I'm saying it's false. I did not dispatch Mr. Colangelo anywhere.
Well, do you know how he ended up there?
I assume he applied for a job there and got the job.
But see, you know what?
I can tell you I had nothing to do with it.
Well, you might not have had anything to do with it, but we've got this contemporaneous evidence in Mr. Pomerantz's book. So Pomerantz writes this book, which I'm sure you're aware of, where he says, we put together the legal eagles to get Trump. We got all these folks together and we assembled them for that purpose. And so when we on the Judiciary Committee think about attacks on the judicial process, our concern is that the facts and the law aren't being followed. A target is acquired, here, Trump, and then you assemble the legal talent from DOJ, Mr. Pomerantz, and you bring everybody in to get him. And meanwhile, the judge is making money on it. The judge is making money on it, or the judge's family's making money on it for stuff that you yourself wouldn't do. You know, no one's going to buy this. No one's going to believe it. It's going to create great disruption. And I am saddened by it because, like you, I have given my life to the law. I care deeply about the law. And I think that the lawfare we've seen against President Trump will do great damage well beyond our time in public service. I see my time's expired. I yield back.
President-elect Donald Trump has wasted no time shaking up Washington, D.C. with a lineup of heavy hitters for his cabinet. First up, Attorney General Matt Gaetz, or Gatz, or whatever way you're going to pronounce it. Trump announced Representative Matt G. as the choice for Attorney General, promising to end the weaponization of government, securing the border, dismantling criminal organizations, and restoring faith in the Justice Department. Gaetz, known for ousting former Speaker Kevin McCarthy, is a polarizing figure who thrives on confrontation. His appointment has sent shockwaves through the swamp, with Adam Schiff leading the opposition, claiming Gaetz' confirmation would affirm the worst potential abuses of the DOJ. And I think Marjorie Taylor Greene was complaining too. I don't know, it's a lot of people griping. Meanwhile, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Florida Senator Marco Rubio, a surprising pick, will represent the U.S. on a global stage. While his hawkish tendencies raise eyebrows among MAGA conservatives, his recent loyalty to Trump might earn him a chance to prove his mettle. And I know some people are complaining because they wanted Richard Grenell, the openly gay. He was temporary director of the CIA under Trump. He was the ambassador to Germany. He works a lot with the log cabin Republicans. They wanted him in that position, but maybe Trump has another position for him. Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard. And another bold move, Trump named Tulsi Gabbard, a former Democrat and staunch critic of the establishment, as his DNI. Gabbard's appointment has sparked accusations from figures like Adam Kinzinger, who basically, I got one right, who basically labeled her as pro-Russia. But her track record of prioritizing peace and protecting constitutional rights speaks for itself. Now, what's next? Expect relentless media attacks on these picks as the establishment scrambles to block their confirmations. But as Elon Musk aptly put it, the hammer of justice is coming. It's hammer time!
Got the hammer and it's time to strike. Breaking through the noise, setting it right. Rain in the swamp, it's a brand new fight. Truth bombs dropping, lighting up the night. Stop the man with the mega mic. Got the hammer and it's time to strike. Breaking through the noise, setting it right. Draining the swamp, it's a brand new fight. Truth bombs dropping, lighting up the night. Trump down. Can't stop the man with the mega might. Trump's got the hammer and it's time to strike. Breaking through the noise, setting it right. Draining the swamp, it's a brand new fight. Truth bombs dropping, lighting up the night. Top man with the Megamite. Can't stop the man with the Megamite. The Trump's got the hammer, and it's time to strike. Breaking through the noise, setting it right. Draining the swamp, it's a brand new fight. Truth bombs dropping, lighting up the night. Trump top, drop the man with the Megamite. Megamite. Trump top, can't stop the man with the Megamite. Take the man with the Megamite. Megamite. Trump top. Can't stop the man with the Megamite. Trump's got the hammer and it's time to strike. Breaking through the noise, setting it right. Draining the swamp, it's a brand new fight. Truth bombs dropping, lighting up the night. Trump's got the hammer and it's time to strike. Breaking through the noise, setting it right. Draining the swamp, it's a brand new fight. Truth bombs dropping, lighting up the night. The night, 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 the lighting up, the lighting up, the night, the night, the night, the night, the lighting up, the lighting up, the lighting up the night. Yeah, Trump's got the hammer and it's time to strike. Breaking through the noise, setting it right. Draining the swamp, it's a brand new fight. Truth bombs dropping, lighting up the night. Trump stop the man with the Megamite. Trump stop the man with the Megamite.
We'll be right back.
Say it. I am useless with a capital Y.
I'm useless with a capital Y.
That's right. Now then, who is Guy Meat Drapes? What kind of name is that?
It's Madropodes, sir. It's Greek.
Well, why doesn't it sound like that when I say it? Meat Drapes.
I don't know.
You don't know much, do you, Guy?
No, sir.
Well, if a trip to the Bahamas ain't gonna get the molasses out your asses, maybe $10,000 will do the trick.
What?
$10,000. That's right. New prize. Top waiter leaves here tonight with 10 grand in his pocket. You know what 10 grand feels like in your pocket? Are you lampooning me, Meat Drapes?
If I defeat him.
Yeah, well, if ifs and buts was candies and nuts, we'd all have a Merry Christmas. Tell him that.
もしもとだってお菓子。
No, I didn't say that. If ifs and buts was candies and nuts, we'd all have a Merry Christmas.
Yes, Trump-san, I translate.
Say it!
If and but was candy and nut, we all have a Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Was that so hard?
Welcome back. So Bidenflation continues to hurt American families, just as much as the spellcracker wants to change Bidenflation to something else. As the Biden administration, I wish it was that easy. As the Biden administration winds down, its economic failures remain painfully evident. And I mean, things didn't change overnight. Inflation is creeping up again, hitting 2.6% after the Federal Reserve prematurely lowered interest rates. Now, key areas of impacts include basic necessities, eggs plus 30.4%, butter plus 5.1%, and oranges plus 7.2% are straining grocery budgets. Housing, rent is up 4.6%, and mortgages have soared 5.2%. friend of mine in California, she says she can tell by people, everybody looks tired. Nobody looks happy. Everybody's working to death. Everybody's worried about paying their bills. I mean, even the rich people kind of pretend it, but they're worried too. And I wonder how many people say, well, Donald Trump got elected, and they think, they'll start trying to blame Donald Trump when he doesn't take office until January 20th, I believe. Transportation, car insurance has jumped 14%. Car insurance is a scam. And repairs are up 5.8%. Meanwhile, healthcare and children costs have increased 6.8% and 6% respectively. Inflation has skyrocketed by over 20% since Biden took office. Despite promises of control, the Federal Reserve's early rate cuts only fueled demand, reigniting inflation. The bottom line, this administration's legacy will be defined by economic mismanagement, leaving American families with lighter wallets and heavier burdens. And one could hope that Donald Trump can turn this around. But 4 years goes by like that, and it takes time. It's sad because if a Democrat takes over after Donald Trump, they will probably say, oh, look what I did, just like Biden tried to take, oh, look what I did when it was Trump. And then Trump got left with a little bit of what Obama had, and then Trump took care of that really quickly because he knows economics. All right, we'll be right back with one more story.
And breaking news right now, we did not know how the end of the meeting would look. This is live. This is outside the White House, where President-elect Donald Trump has just left the White House. That's his motorcade right there, after meeting for well over an hour and a half with President Biden. Now, remember, their comments on camera were very short last hour, and we've been playing that for you because this moment in history is huge. Those two men have gotten together. We know that there were expectations of a peaceful transfer. They both talked about that, a peaceful transition. This was the precursor to that, and they both acknowledged that's the goal, and they were, as Trump put it, it's a nice day in the world today. We also know that the First Lady, Jill Biden, handed a letter.
The hell of Kamala. Well, at least I could dream. So in a rare moment of bipartisanship, President-elect Donald Trump and outgoing President Joe Biden met at the White House. Trump described this meeting as really good, leaving many to wonder what topics were discussed. Could it be a signal of a smoother than expected transition? We also know that Melania declined having tea with the enemy, Jill Stein, or whatever her name is. No, Jill Biden. And whatever. Hey, I'm happy. She doesn't need to go there. She doesn't need to start that. She don't want to go to the White House and go, look what you've done to my garden. No, according to the president-elect Donald Trump, the meeting was really good meeting. While details remain limited, this encounter suggests a willingness to engage in dialogue and potentially bridge divides within our constitutional republic. I love they always have this tradition of having this meetings, and I guess they had to forgo let me tell you the secret stuff. Well, I already know the secret stuff. Let me teach you the secret handshake. I already know the secret handshake. Oh, well, what do you want to do now? All right, guys, we'll be right back with our hashtag Go Right recap. Thank you for tuning in. This has been a little bit longer of a podcast than normal, and thank you for tuning in. We'll be right back.
The swamp is trembling, feel the quake, oh yeah. Trump's got the moves, the power plays on display. Matt gets Tulsi, Rubio rise, MAGA thunder rolling, no compromise. Grassroots roaring, we're in the fight, constitutionalists for liberty shining bright. Yeah, the fire's lit, it's time to take back bit by bit. Yeah, yeah, shake it up, shake it down. It's a swamp shakedown, oh yeah. Oh yeah. From the people to the leaders, taking back our ground. Go right news, bringing truth over loud. We're marching forward, heads unbowed. Oh, John Thune rises, the Senate's call, but the grassroots voice is above it all. And meanwhile, Biden's policies bring us pain. Inflation climbing, it's a heavy chain. But Trump meets Biden, the table's set for a new chapter this nation won't forget. Oh yeah, the winds have changed, the constitutional republic will rearrange. Yeah, yeah, turn it up, feel the groove, it's accountability time, oh yeah. Oh yeah, Dog is here, making government align. From Hollywood lights to the factory floor, Trump's building bridges, opening doors. FEMA's biased, disaster sting, but truth is power and we're the kings. Fox keeps rocking while trust betray. CNN, MSNBC, their light fades. Low-income voters see the way. With the GOP, there's a brighter day. Yeah, we're here to stay. Taking back freedom, the American way. Raise your voice, make it loud, this is the people's jam. Oh yeah, no yeah. No bias, no lies, just truth from Uncle Sam. Go right news, the beacon shining bright. In this constitutional fight, we own the night. Oh yeah. We're rising, no bias, no lies, just truth from Uncle Sam. Go right news, the beacon shining bright. In this constitutional fight, we own the night. Oh yeah, yeah. We're rising, the swamp can't hold us. Oh no, we're climbing right in. Piano keys dancing, drums keep pounding, bassline rolling, never ending. From Go Right News to the Capitol floor, we're reclaiming America and so much more. Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Welcome back to our hashtag GoRight recap. So in today's news, we covered an extraordinary realignment in American politics as the GOP wins the support of low-income voters and even earns the reluctant praise of Hollywood. Donald Trump's bold creation of the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, D-O-G-E, who let the Doge out, woo, 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 all right, sets the stage for a new era of accountability and citizen involvement in government operations. Meanwhile, CNN and MSNBC are scrambling to hold on to viewers after losing public trust, while Fox News continues to dominate the landscape. Lastly, alleged anti-Trump bias within FEMA sparks outrage and questions of fairness in disaster relief efforts. So the swamp is trembling as Trump delivers bold appointments like Matt Gaetz, Tulsi Gabbard, and Marco Rubio. Meanwhile, John Thune's rise of Senate Majority Leader underscores the need for ongoing grassroots engagement. Biden's failed economic policies continue to hit Americans hard, and Trump's productive meeting with Biden hints at an intriguing start to the next chapter of our constitutional republic. Now remember, folks, the fight for liberty doesn't stop here. For more news and updates, visit GoRightNews.com. Follow us on Rumble, tune in to hashtag Go Right with Peter Boykin on platforms like Spreaker, Spotify, YouTube, and TikTok, and X, and Twitter. If you want to support the cause, you can donate at Cash App, and links are available at GoRightNews.com and PeterBoykin.com. So let's stand together for a constitutional republic that works for the people. Let's continue to go right together. God bless everybody. Peace.
It's time to go right. Let the truth ignite. We're bringing the right news into the light. With Peter Boykin at the helm, we're taking a stand. Constitutionalist for America, we protect this land. Welcome to the place where opinions align. With liberty's flame, our voices combine. Citizen journalism, honest and true. Let's go right, it's the podcast for you. Welcome to the place where opinions align. With liberty's flame, our voices combine. Citizen journalism, honest and true. Let's go right, it's the podcast for you. It's time to go right. Let the truth ignite. We're bringing the right news into the light. With Peter Boykin at the helm, we're taking a stand. Constitutionalist for America, we protect this land. Welcome to the place where opinions align. With liberty's flame, our voices combine. Citizen journalism, honest and true. Let's go right, it's the podcast for you. Where opinions align. With liberty's flame, our voices combine. Citizen journalism, honest and true. Let's go right, it's the podcast for you. Welcome to the place where opinions align. With liberty's flame, our voices combine. Citizen journalism, honest and true. Let's go right, it's the podcast for you. Welcome to the place.
When people are like, where's Donald Trump going to get all the money to deport millions of people? The same place you motherfuckers got it to fucking bus them and fly them all across the United States, put them up in fucking hotels, give them fucking apartments, give them free healthcare, and give them $3,500 a fucking month on a debit card. That's where we're going to get it. We're just going to stop giving them that shit and throw them the fuck out. It's pretty fucking simple. You guys already wasted billions of dollars fucking getting them here. Yes, we're going to waste billions of dollars getting them the fuck out of here and getting back to being Americans.
Elon Musk is now the Department of Government Efficiency. If you had a message for Elon Musk, what would that message be?
Elon, I'm asking you to get all your brilliant scientists and engineers to look at the reports, the Mason County report 1, 2, and 3, and to get a hold of the images that I did of the election servers so that you can come out and talk about it. The proof that we have that they have 36 wireless devices in that we proved, and also 29,000 election records that were erased. But even more shocking is that there's software in there that is capable of flipping votes and creating two databases that actually change the voters' intent. So you have brilliant people, you're an amazing man, and I really do believe that the people will listen to you if you would just talk to them about what we found, the proof that we found.
This is a rock star.
Right, she is.
Yeah, and then they got to go after you. Yeah. See, today they go after you if you're investigating.
Yes.
Right.
I've been investigating since day one, President Trump.
Right.
It's time to strike. Breaking through the noise, setting it right. Train in the swamp, it's a brand new fight. Truth bombs dropping, lighting up the night. Oh, Trump time. Can't stop the man with the MAGA mic. With the MAGA mic. Can't stop the man with the MAGA mic. When it on my roof, can't stop the man with the MAGA mic. Setting it right, train in the swamp, it's a brand new fight. Truth bombs dropping, lighting up the night. Oh, Trump time. Can't stop the man with the MAGA mic. Can't stop the man with the MAGA mic. Trump time. Can't stop the man with the MAGA mic. Can't stop the man with the MAGA mic. Can't stop the man with the MAGA mic. are in, the seats are claimed. Republicans rise, the House is framed. From coast to coast in every state, we fought the battles, now we elevate. Lit the maps, redrew the lines in districts carved by shifting signs. North Carolina, New York made moves through closed calls, we found our groove. House in our hands, we're standing tall. Constitutionalists for liberty call. Oh yeah, yeah, the right news is breaking free. With every seat, we hold our destiny. 15 close races by threads they swung. One by one the victory sung. From Georgia's red lines, Alabama stand, the mandate held across the land. Decision desk had the numbers tight. With freedom's fire we claim our right. Through thin and thick we built the way. A constitutional republic here to stay. Now the power's real, the people's trust. Every seed earned from fight to dust. Oh yeah, yeah, let's make it clear. For America, so we persevere. The lines were drawn, the battle on. Victory's rhythm keeps us strong. Redistricting turned the tables round. Through shifting courts our voice was found. Now every seat, every vote in place, guided by liberty's steady pace. With Go Right News and a nation's pride, we're constitutionalists side by side. For every voice that speaks to be free, we hold the House for democracy. House in our hands, the path is wide. With honor and strength, we turn the tide. Oh yeah, for all to see, guardians of our legacy. We're keeping strong, we're keeping right. For freedom's call, we'll stand and fight. Oh yeah, yeah. We're keeping strong, we're keeping right. For freedom's call, we'll stand and fight. Oh yeah, yeah.
Greatness doesn't discriminate. It doesn't see where you're from, what you look like, or who you know. Greatness is for those who work for it, for those who keep moving forward. Greatness is for anyone willing to fight for it.
Hi folks, welcome to #GoRight with Peter Boykin. Imagine the irony, a politician who claimed she could fix the economy, now $20 million in debt, leaving her staff unpaid, all while President-elect Donald Trump, I love saying that, Donald Trump surges ahead with historic achievements. Today, we're talking about the sharp currents in Washington as Trump gears up for his presidency, already securing the highest raw vote count of any Republican candidate in history. From the inner halls of the Senate to FEMA disaster zones, there is a growing call to restore America's values. So let's dive into the details with focus on our constitutional republic as Trump's allies rally to reshape the political landscape and a determined majority calls for change. We'll be right back. Remember, we fight for what's right because it's time to go right.
Time to go right. Time to go right. Time to go right.
Welcome to hashtag Go Right with Peter Boykin. So, as the dust settles from one of the most decisive elections in history, President-elect Donald Trump has achieved something historic. He's garnered the highest raw count of the popular vote for a Republican candidate ever. That's a message from the American people that's hard to ignore. And Trump's wasting no time in showing he's serious about delivering on his promises. In a move aimed squarely at securing the southern border, he's announced plans to bring in former ICE Director Tom Homan as his new border czar. This one will probably actually go to the border. Now, these moves signal a strong mandate and agenda set to reshape policies with a tough America First stance. So let's break down today's top headlines as we look at what this means for the direction of our constitutional republic under Trump's incoming administration. Now, let's set the stage with a little story about loyalty and new beginnings. Picture this, a town where every ally counts. Two prominent figures are suddenly left outside the circle. President-elect Donald Trump has decided not to extend invitations to Nikki Haley and Mike Pompeo to join him in his new administration, signaling a shift towards fresh faces and unwavering loyalty. Meanwhile, the political stage is heating up as a historic meeting between Biden and Donald Trump is set to take place at the White House. Two powerful leaders, one that can't stand up and keeps tripping down, and his name is Joe Biden, polar opposites because Donald Trump knows how to walk and talk and play the game, about to sit down in a room filled with more tension and expectation than ever before. Now, what could this meeting mean for the future of our constitutional republic? And what does Trump's move signal for the direction of his administration? Let's dive into the day's headlines, where each story undiscovers a different angle of this pivotal moment in our nation's journey. Hey folks, guess what? Republicans have gained control of the U.S. House of Representatives, securing 218 seats as projected by Decision Desk HQ on News Nation. This marks a shift in the chamber's balance of power following elections where all 435 seats were up for grabs, with House members serving 2-year terms. I kind of prefer 4 years, but hey, whatever. Before the election, Republicans held a narrow majority in the House with 220 seats compared to the Democrats' 212, leaving 3 seats vacant. While taking the House, Republicans now have full control of Congress and the White House, and looks like the Senate as well, which positions the GOP to more effectively pursue its legislative agenda. Now, in the 2022 midterm elections, Republicans flipped key seats in states like Washington, New York, and California. When many of these races were tight, with 15 races decided by less than a 2% margin. This year's election saw several of those close races become rematches between incumbents and previous challengers. Now, redistricting played a significant role in the election's competitiveness. 5 states adjusted their district lines since the last midterm, with Alabama, Louisiana, and Georgia requiring to redraw maps by federal mandate under the Voting Rights Act of 1965. Meanwhile, here in North Carolina and in New York, they redrew their lines due to state court rulings. And here in North Carolina, we won big, at least on the federal level. We'll be right back.
President Trump taking immediate action, speaking with leaders across the globe in the 24 hours after he secured victory. So what will foreign policy look like under President Trump's leadership? Well, former GOP Congressman and New York gubernatorial candidate Lee Zeldin joins us now with more. Lee, thanks for being here. What does in a second term here, what does a Trump foreign policy look like?
a continuation of a lot that worked when President Trump was in the office the first time, and President Trump's next term victories have actually already begun. The election was this past Tuesday. You already have the European Union indicating that they'll purchase now possibly United States natural gas to avoid Trump tariffs. There was a caravan that was coming through Mexico that was pretty massive, already cut in half. Qatar kicking Hamas out of its country. President Trump already speaking to President Zelensky about ending the war in Ukraine. That bit that you just played from President Trump on election night is exactly a peace through strength model that worked, of ending foreign wars instead of starting new ones, about having a military that was focused on being America's defenders instead of a woke social experiment. And understanding that we need to treat friends as friends and adversaries as abroad, and never sending our troops into harm's way where they're set up to fail. President Trump has had 4 years of success from the Abraham Accords, withdrawing from the Iran nuclear deal, and more. I think it's about picking up from where he left off and then some. I think his next term is going to be even greater than the last one.
Which aspect of that do you think is most crucial? Because you just laid out a great a list of things that have been done and will be done. When you're looking at moves he'll make early on, what do you put at the top of the list?
Listen, the hottest commodity that President Trump's going to have is time. And President Trump isn't going to have the luxury of just picking one to focus on day one. And President Trump is going to have the ability, with good personnel around him and good policies around him, to look at all of the regions that are an issue and tackle all of them simultaneously out of the gate. So we have to combat illegal immigration and what's coming up through Mexico and flying into our country from other countries, at the same time as looking at an issue in Israel and their existential threats around them, to Ukraine and especially China. I think President Trump is going to have all of this at the top of the list, and he's going to be tackling all of it on day one.
Well, you're right. That southern border and our vulnerability there is a national security issue that will certainly be part of the many things he'll be addressing. Help us out, Lee. You know New York politics very well. It's been an interesting week in New York. So you have that Letitia James press conference, which was bizarre and super anti-Trump, and she presumed he's coming after everybody, and she holds this press conference. Yet Donald Trump had a very cordial call, according to Governor Hochul, a call with her about working in New York. So who's right? What's the future of how Donald Trump interacts with New York State and New York City?
President Trump is showing that he truly wants to be the president for all Americans. And it doesn't matter whether or not you're from a blue state, a red state, a purple state. And inside of that state, you don't have to be a Republican or Democrat. Now, Kathy Hochul in 22 called on Donald Trump and Lee Zeldin to leave New York. Yeah. Just a couple weeks ago, she was saying that if you don't vote Democrat, if you vote for President Trump, that you're anti-American. That's not stopping President Trump from wanting to be a president for all Americans. So this is about the people of New York. This isn't about a clash of partisanship through parties. President Trump is making it clear to blue state governors out there and blue city mayors out there that he wants to be able to work with everybody in order to deliver for all Americans. I absolutely love it. And it's truly the leadership that we needed for unity that President Biden spoke about on his inauguration and gave up on the next day.
Yeah, they speak about it all the time, and then they never really follow through. And what they've missed about Trump from the beginning is he actually is a businessman who wants to make things better and is willing to work with people, even if they've dissed him and disagree with him, as you point out. Kathy Hochul been no fan of Donald Trump or Lee Zeldin. But, Lee, you gave it a heck of a run, and we hope you do again. It's great to see you, Lee. Thank you.
So Senate leadership election is coming up real soon, and McConnell is pushing back. We talked about this before, but it's very important and dated because this election's coming up very soon. The latest battle for Senate leadership is heating up, with Senator Mitch McConnell, a figure some see as out of touch with the America's First movement, has orchestrated an accelerated vote for Republican Senate Majority Leader. Some suggest this move is intended to stifle the voice of the people, especially those who chose Trump and his agenda overwhelmingly. To understand the stakes, let's break down the contenders. John Cornyn with 35% conservative score, a choice that some argue leans toward liberal stances. John Thune at 37% conservative, another moderate figure. And Rick Scott, who stands out with a solid 92% conservative score, the clear America First candidate in this race. Now, the backstory. McConnell has planned to step down due to health issues. Yet his last actions appear aimed at securing the Republican leadership against Trump's agenda. According to prominent voices like Tucker Carlson, McConnell's timing feels almost like a coup against the pro-Trump wave, a sentiment echoed by conservative influencers, including Elon Musk and Senator Rand Paul, who publicly backed Scott. Now, behind the scenes, an unofficial whip count shows Scott trailing, but his supporters are doubling down on calls for action. I've got a few texts and emails myself. The Trump base is urging voters to connect their senators directly, demanding a public endorsement of Scott. Many feel that McConnell's tactics disregard the mandate given to Trump by millions who voted for reform and transparency in Washington. So now is the time, they argue, for Americans to hold up their representatives accountable. We do have a Twitter link on the website at gorightnews.com with the senators' plans and how they're going to vote. We are urging people to call your senator today, demand they publicly endorse Senator Rick Scott. Tell them anything short of a public endorsement will be assumed to be a vote for one or the other two. Now, I don't know a lot about these three individuals. I still tend to go towards moderates, but I have a feeling if they're saying that this Rick Scott is good on America First agenda, I am happy with that, but it doesn't look like he's going to win. So the best we can hope is the moderate pick. You can have a link to contact your senators on the website as well. And even if they pick somebody coming up and you don't like them, you can still express your dislike for who they picked. A GOP Senate source has leaked the internal whip count for the leadership vote, and the final votes will be on a secret ballot. But here's the race as it stands now. Cornyn 18, Scott 11, and Thun 24. And with Thun being the 37% conservative moderate figure, as long as he's going with America First, then I don't really have too much of a problem with it. If you're asking about, like, say, North Carolina, we have Ted Budd. Ted Budd has picked Cornyn, and we have Tom Tillis, and he's picked Thun. So neither one here has picked Scott. And again, there's a long list of who voted for who on GoRightNews.com. We'll be right back.
What will we do with this moment? How will we be remembered? Look at the opportunities before us. America is a land of heroes. This is a place where greatness is born. Our ancestors settled the Wild West, lifted millions from poverty, disease, and hunger, vanquished tyranny and fascism, ushered the world to new heights of science and medicine, and we are making it greater than ever before. The people dreamed this country, and it's the people who are making America great again. No matter the trials, no matter the challenges to come, we must keep freedom alive in our souls. That one nation, under God, must be the hope and the promise and the light and the glory among all the nations of the world. Thank you, God bless you, and God bless America. Thank you very much.
So, FEMA has an official alleged partisan bias, and it's pretty bad. An outrageous breach of public trust. A FEMA leader reportedly instructed her team to withhold aid from homes displaying Trump signs. Marty Washington, overseeing Hurricane Milton recovery in Florida, allegedly directed her team to skip homes advertising Trump. A statement supported by internal documents and whistleblower testimony. I mean, it literally was on their text messages. The fallout was immediate. FEMA fired Washington, labeling her actions horrifying, yet calling it an isolated incident. But many wonder, was it truly isolated? Reports suggest that this directive affected at least 20 homes where families were denied emergency assistance during a critical time simply due to their political beliefs. Although FEMA claims that all affected homes will now receive aid, questions persist. Why wasn't this corrected earlier? And why was no action taken with internal complaints where first were filed? Florida governors Ron DeSantis and House committees are launching investigations to determine if this partisanship went beyond Washington's instructions. For many, this incident underlines a disturbing trend in the federal response under the Biden administration, where agency actions appear increasingly politicized. And I also wonder about the hurricane here in North Carolina. People have been complaining that FEMA and stuff were not getting these people that live in the mountains, mostly Republicans, the aid that they needed. Meanwhile, a lot of news were not allowed into the area. And when patriots and other people came forward to help, FEMA tried to arrest people. FEMA turned people away. FEMA confiscated their items. And then they started talking about people that were showing up. They started calling them domestic terrorists and everything else. And then they caused this whole uproar here in North Carolina. All I know is that people are still suffering in North Carolina. The news isn't talking about it. Nobody else is talking about it. Now that the election's over, I hope that politicians are still going to take care of these damaged areas across our nation. We'll be right back.
4 years ago, we took a wrong turn and lost our purpose. We lost the strength that makes Americans who we are. If we dared to speak the truth, it was called hate speech, and our values were labeled shameful. That's when everything we care about fell apart. We surrendered our borders, our paychecks, and our courage. Our patriotism was called toxic. Men could beat up women and win medals, but there was no prize for the guy who got up every day to do his job. Now we're being asked to settle for the way things are. And we're wondering if America can make a comeback. We can, because we've done it before. When we get knocked down, we don't stay down, we get up again. We fight, we fight, we fight.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
There's some Iranian-linked assassination plot against Donald Trump. In another alarming development, 3 individuals have been charged in a plot linked to Iranian operatives aimed at assassinating President Donald Trump. You know, what's scary is 2 of those people are national American citizens, but they're also Jewish Americans. That's kind of scary, working for Iran of all places. Online threats against Donald Trump are becoming more frequent and explicit, with users calling for extreme actions against the newly elected president. If trespassing at the Capitol was deemed insurrection, then surely these calls for assassination are a level of treason that goes beyond free speech. The severity of these statements cannot be overlooked, especially considering the Capitol incident's label as a domestic terror event. Moreover, the emotional toll of Trump's presidency seems to be affecting vulnerable groups. Hotlines for LGBTQ plus youth, more of the leftist brainwashed type, are reportedly overwhelmed with calls, with reports of teenagers forming suicide pacts out of fear-driven misinformation. And many believe that Democrats' rhetoric about Trump and GOP has contributed to this emotional crisis, further proving the need for leadership that can bring back balance and stability. And we've already had people committing suicide. We had a man that killed his family, his wife, his ex, his kids, himself, because Donald Trump won. I don't understand the ironic nature of this, is that you're so worried that Donald Trump is going to change things. He's going to round us up. He's going to kill people, et cetera, that you would kill yourself. I don't understand that. As we joke about, and we're going to joke because people freaking out and stuff like that. I mean, you did try to assassinate our president multiple times. You still are calling for the assassination of Donald Trump. So there's always going to be that little division. We also have to take care and tread softly as well, because there's some people that really have a bad case of TDS, and I can only pray for those people. And that's the reason why we'll be doing podcasts soon. Hopefully live every week to talk about critical issues and what's been going on, and we'll bring people on and we'll try to help people as much as possible. I've already had a lot of people reach out to me. All right, we'll be right back with the hashtag #GoRightRecap. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to share and like this podcast and follow.
There's a wind sweeping through the Capitol halls. From Congress to the streets, the people stand tall. Voices rise for justice, loud and clear. Fighting through the noise, driven by fear. FEMA's shadow by its shore. People seeking truth to own. Divisions deepen, battles begin. But we're holding strong through thick and thin. Yeah, yeah. We're the heartbeat of a nation brave. The voices that won't fade, okay. Go right news, a call, a line. Guiding through the darkest night. It's more than politics, it's about what's fair. Americans longing for leaders who care. Constitutionalists rising proud, bringing hope in a world so loud. Don't break the chains, transparency calls, no more games. For every freedom, every right, we stand together, we'll unite. Coast to coast, stakes run high, the people's voice won't be denied. We're bound by freedom, tied by truth, defending dreams, old and new. With every step, we're making waves for a land of the free and the home of the brave. From every city, every town, we'll hold the line. Won't back down with Go Right News and voices true, fighting for the red, white, and blue. The threats are many, the words are sharp, but faith in freedom lights the dark. Partisan storms in the constant fight only make our fire burn bright. This land, it's ours to defend. A mission on which we all depend, united under justice and name. Through every struggle, we'll remain. Yeah, yeah. In every heartbeat, every stand, we're building bridges hand in hand. Constitutionalists standing tall, together we rise, never fall.
Welcome back to the hashtag #GoRightRecap. In a country craving reform, from the halls of Congress to the actions of federal agencies, there's a new sense of urgency. Americans are making their voices heard, calling for transparency and true representation in the Senate. FEMA's shocking actions reflect the challenges we face in fighting biases, and the threats against Donald Trump underscore the divisions stoked by partisan rhetoric. At the end, folks, though, we now have the White House, we now have the House, and we have the Senate, as long as we can push back McConnell from doing something pretty bad before he steps down. Now, that's it for hashtag #GoRight with Peter Boykin. Remember, stay informed and stay involved. Follow this podcast, like this podcast, share this podcast, communicate with us. Let us know what you got. If you've got really cool videos you'd like to see featured on this podcast or any information out there, let us know. You can visit thegorightnews.com for more updates. You can follow us on Rumble, Spreaker, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, X, Twitter, and lots more. To support our mission, head over to gorightnews.com or peterboykin.com to donate, and let's continue to fight for our constitutional republic and protect the values that make America great. God bless everybody. Peace.
Nothing worth doing ever came easy. Treat the word impossible as nothing more than motivation. Never, ever quit. Never quit. Adversity makes you stronger. Don't give in, don't back down, and never stop doing what you know is right. They want to take away my freedom because I will never let them take away your freedoms. They're not coming after me, they're coming after you, and I just happen to be standing in their way.
When they couldn't beat him, they tried to bankrupt him.
President Trump is back in a New York City courtroom.
When that didn't work, they tried to put him in federal prison.
Raided by the FBI.
When that didn't work, they even tried to kill him.
They just tried to kill President Trump.
Donald Trump still stands, ready to fight, ready to win, and ready to make America great again.
This is Donald Trump's house, brother.
This election, we all get to choose. I'm going to choose real American leadership and a real American badass. The 45th and soon to be 47th President Donald J. Trump.
Starting on day one, we will defeat inflation quickly and we will make America affordable again. I will cut your energy costs in half. It's time for the working man and woman to finally catch a break. We are going to bring back the American dream, bigger, better, and stronger than ever before. When I'm back in the White House, we will restore world peace, and it will be again peace through strength. I will launch the largest deportation program in American history, and we'll put these vicious and bloodthirsty criminals in jail or kick them the hell out of our country. November 5th, 2024 will be Liberation Day in America. We all salute the same great American flag. Our best days are yet to come. Together, we will make America great again.
It's time to go right. Let the truth ignite. We're bringing right news into the light. With Peter Boykin at the helm, we're taking a stand. Constitutionalist for America, we protect this land. Welcome to the place where opinions align. With liberty's flame, our voices combine. Citizen journalism, honest and true. Let's go right, it's the podcast for you. Welcome to the place where opinions align. With liberty's flame, our voices combine. Citizen journalism, honest and true. Let's go right, it's the podcast for you. It's time to go right. Let the truth ignite. We're bringing right news into the light. With Peter Boykin at the helm, we're taking a stand. Constitutionalist for America, we protect this land. Welcome to the place where opinions align. With liberty's flame, our voices combine. Citizen journalism, honest and true. Let's go right, it's the podcast for you. place where opinions align. With liberty's flame, our voices combine. Citizen journalism, honest and true. Let's go right, it's the podcast for you. Welcome to the place where opinions align. With liberty's flame, our voices combine. Citizen journalism, honest and true. Let's go right, it's the podcast for you. Welcome to the place. The winds of change, they blew so strong as the House flipped the power right where it belonged. There's a wind sweeping through the Capitol halls. From Congress to the streets, the people stand tall. Voices rise for justice, loud and clear, fighting through the noise driven by fear. FEMA's shadow by is shown, people seeking truth to own. Divisions deepen, battles begin, but we're holding strong through thick and thin. Yeah, yeah. We're the heartbeat of a nation brave, the voices that won't fade decay. Go right news, a call of light, guiding through the darkest nights. Politics, it's about what's fair. Americans longing for leaders who care. Constitutionalists rising proud, bringing hope in a world so loud. Senators of stone break the chains. Transparency calls, no more games. For every freedom, every right, we stand together, we'll unite. From every city, every town, we'll hold the line, won't back down. With Go Right News and voices true, fighting for the red, white, and blue. Words are sharp, but faith and freedom lights the dark. Partisan storms and the constant fight only make our fire burn bright. The threats are many, the words are sharp, but faith and freedom lights the dark. Partisan storms and the constant fight only make our fire burn bright. This land, it's ours to defend, a mission on which we all depend. United under justice's name, through every struggle we'll remain. Yeah, yeah. In every heartbeat, every stand, we're building bridges hand in hand. Constitutionalists standing tall, together we rise, never fall. They're talking loud on the streets tonight. The Constitution's still burning bright. We're marching forward, gotta hold that line. Voices blended, in harmony they shine. Yeah, ooh. This ain't the time to turn and run. Moderates, rebels, all under one sun. Feeling that fuck, it's a call to unite. Everyone's gotta say, left, middle, right. Funk crew, stand up, shout out. Let your voice be free. Right in the rhythm, we got the key. From the heart, the beat goes on. In the land of the brave, where we all belong. Keyboard playing a righteous tune. Bassline bouncing like a big full moon. Through thick and thin, we're pushing through. All for the red, white, and the blue. Yeah, yeah. You got your view, and I got mine. But there's a beat where our paths entwine. Moving together like never before. Brass and drums, we're here for more. Step in the light, feel that freedom rise. Across this nation, open up your eyes. From city streets to the small town halls, we're breaking down those old stone walls. Slow, catch that groove, let the spirit flow. We're fighting hard, we're singing loud. Voices of liberty, fierce and proud. Yeah, yeah. That groove, let the spirit flow. We're fighting hard, we're singing loud. Voices of liberty, fierce and proud. Yeah, yeah. On the morning, we're not humming low and slow. This is the sound of me and you, side by side, through highs and lows. In unity, our power grows. Rise up strong, don't back away. We're marching forward, come what may. You got your view, and I got mine. But there's a beat where our paths entwine. Moving together like never before. Brass and drums, we're here for more. Dip in the light, feel that freedom rise. Across this nation, open up your eyes. From city streets to the small town. In every beat, in every song, standing for your rights, we all belong.
Always knew this day would come. We'd be standing one by one with our future in our hands. So many dreams, so many plans. Always knew after all these years.
Welcome to hashtag Go Right with Peter Boykin. I'm your host. I'm a constitutionalist for liberty. Let's start with some exciting news. Republicans have taken the House majority, strengthening their control over Washington, D.C., as they already hold the White House and the Senate. This marks a pivotal turn in our constitutional republic, with Republicans now in the driver's seat to tackle pressing issues, make critical policy decisions, and bring real change to D.C. and fight against the swamp. But I'm going to warn you folks, even my friend Laura Loomer has posted already, that 2026 is right around the corner, and we only have a slim margin. That doesn't mean we have a blanche a la carte to go after, all the social issues and all the key issues that scare the left. Because some people are freaking out about this Agenda 2025 and some of these hard social things that they're afraid that the Republicans might do. Well, I'm going to advise you, Republicans, we need to start embracing moderation, trying to sit down. That's what Donald Trump does, making a deal, trying to figure out how to fix the issue. Quit trying to put things in one way or the other and the extremes, because that is why our vote is still almost in the middle. There's no huge winner. There's still people talking about cheating, etc., which might have been even in this election, not on the Trump side. But the best way we need to understand is those swing states, they went for Trump because Trump got the swing voters. The swing voters know that Trump doesn't deal with the BS, doesn't spend all day talking about, social issues and caving into a lot of that. I still have a lot of small issues with some policies, but Donald Trump and the whole will be the best president that we ever have in modern history, besides like when I was little, Ronald Reagan. We got to worry about the future, though, because the future starts now. We'll be right back. Remember, we fight for what's right because it's time to go right.
Time to go right. Time to go right. Time to go right.
Let's talk about some national headlines. First up, some fascinating developments from Mar-a-Lago. Entrepreneur Elon Musk has been spotted there frequently since the election, consulting with Donald Trump on key decisions regarding his new administration. Trump has even announced that Musk, alongside presidential hopeful Vivek Ramaswamy, will lead a newly envisioned Department of Government Efficiency. Now, their focus is reducing governmental waste and improving operations to better serve the people. This speaks volumes about the direction Trump intends to take, embracing innovation and accountability at the top level. I mean, considering every couple of months now we are facing down the barrel of a shutdown because we don't have enough money, but yet somehow the government keeps sending billions to overseas and et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, creating an extra division to reduce divisions, that kind of makes sense. In other news, Melania Trump declined an invitation to tea with First Lady Jill Biden. The tradition calls for both current and future First Ladies to meet in the White House residence, but Melania opted out, choosing to prioritize her own agenda over formalities. Love it, gotta love it, because why have tea with an enemy? We'll be right back.
First of all, your comments are disgusting.
I've served my country. I've served my country for 34 years. I find your comments disgusting as well. I've served my country for 34 years, and yes, I held a 5-year-old boy in my arms. In back of that tractor trailer, I knelt down beside him and said a prayer for him because I knew what his last 30 minutes of his life were like, and I had a 5-year-old son at the time. What I've been trying to do my 34 years serving my nation is to save lives. So for you to sit there and insult my integrity and my love for my country and for children, that's why this whole thing needs to be fixed. And you're the member of Congress.
We agree on that.
Fix it.
We agree on that, but I disagree. But I also disagree with your characterization of immigrants as prone to criminality.
People for 3 decades on this.
Gentlemen, time is.
Look, you want to know why there's 50,000 people in detention? You want to know why we have 1 million illegal entries in the United States? You want to know why we have these issues? Because you have failed to secure the border. You have failed to work with this president to close the 3 loopholes we've asked for 2 years to close. So if you want to know why this issue exists, you need to look in the mirror. You have failed American people for not securing the border and closing loopholes.
Mr. Holman, please respect the chair and the authority of the chair. The time of the gentleman has expired.
I've asked you politely to let me go beyond my time, and you let other people go beyond their time, but not to Tom Holman. He don't get me go beyond his time.
Mr. Holman, we have approved an agreement between the Republicans and the Democrats with the ranking member. We increased the time of one member of Congress who was interrupted by a protest. That is done with the approval of the ranking member. Please respect the chair's authority.
I respect the chair's authority, but the chair...
Mr. Holman!
You work for me. I'm a taxpayer. I'm a taxpayer. You work for me.
So the recommendation, of the many that you recommended family separation.
I recommended zero tolerance.
Which includes family separation.
The same as it is with every U.S. citizen parent gets arrested when they're with a child.
Zero tolerance was interpreted as the policy that separated children from their
If I get arrested for DUI and I have a young child in the car, I'm going to be separated. When I was a police officer in New York and I arrested a father for domestic violence, I separated that father from his family.
Mr. Holman, with all due respect, legal asylees are not charged with any crime.
When you're into the country illegally, it's violation 8 United States Code 1325.
Seeking asylum is legal.
If you want to seek asylum, you go through the port of entry, do it the legal way. The Attorney General of the United States has made that clear.
Okay.
We have seen one estimate that says it would cost $88 billion to deport 1 million people a year.
I don't know if that's accurate or not.
Is that what American taxpayers should expect?
What price do you put on national security? Is that worth it?
Is there a way to carry out mass deportation without separating families?
Of course there is. Families can be deported together. You better start packing now. You're damn right. Because you're going home. I got another message. Another message to the criminal cartels in Mexico. You smuggled enough fentanyl across this country to kill 148,000 young Americans. You have killed more Americans than every terrorist organization in the world combined. And that's when President Trump gets back in office. He's going to designate you a terrorist organization, and he's going to wipe you off the face of the earth. You're done. You're done. Why would you release 5 or 6 female children to one male sponsor? Why would you do that? So God help these children. God help these children. I love kids. And this administration, I don't want to hear another word about you being humane. You're putting children at risk. Record number of Americans are dying. Record numbers of migrants are dying. There's one guy who can fix this shit, and it's Donald Trump. Look, I knew President Trump was going to run before you did because I had dinner with him in Las Vegas about 6 months before he announced. And we were having dinner and he looked at me and says, Tom, I think I'm coming back. If I come back, can I get you to come back? I says, I tell you what, sir, I'm so pissed off I'll come back for free.
So in a concerning financial update, taxpayers are footing a hefty $15 million bill for former Chief Medical Advisor Dr. Anthony Fauci's ongoing security. And it's all on the public's dime. according to records obtained by Open the Books through a Freedom of Information Act request. Dr. Fauci has been granted a full U.S. Marshal team with chauffeur services, a level of protection highly unusual for a former federal employees. Probably because people are pissed at the guy. Because Fauci, who became a household name during the COVID-19 pandemic, continues to draw criticism for his approach, which include denying the virus's potential origins from a Wuhan lab and advocating for mass vaccinations while keeping key information about efficiency under wraps. Despite his retirement, Fauci is collecting an impressive pension of over $355,000 annually, previously ranking at the highest paid federal employee between 2019 and 2022. Many are questioning why the U.S. Marshals are providing him with such extensive protection, something that's virtually unprecedented among retired federal workers. Yeah, we don't even probably give that kind of to former presidents or Supreme Court justices, et cetera, et cetera. We don't even give anything nearly the people who are in our U.S. House or our U.S. Senate. Yeah, he made a lot of people angry. Yep.
All right, Tim, here's your question. Which of the following things you've said is a lie? You were in Hong Kong during the Tiananmen Square protests. You retired as a command sergeant major. You carried weapons in a combat zone. You have children via in vitro fertilization. I'm sorry, Tim, but all of these are lies.
Turning now to the campaign trail, Federal Elections Commission FEC records have revealed that Vice President Kamala Harris's campaign raked up $20 million in debt after raising more than $1 billion. More of this financial mess came from her campaign's massive spending on star-studded events featuring A-list celebrities. Records show the campaign spent over $20 million on appearances and performances by high-profile entertainers like Lady Gaga, Ricky Martin, Katy Perry, Bon Jovi, and more, listing them under event production costs. Oprah Winfrey's Harpo Productions also pocketed $1 million after hosting a town hall for Harris, though Oprah claims she was not personally compensated. Kamala's team poured an additional $3.9 million into social media outreach through Village marketing agency to pay influencers, hoping to attract young voters. Advertising costs mounted to an astronomical $654 million, dwarfing Trump's ad expenses by more than double. Payroll costs soared to $56.6 million, while Trump's payroll was far lower at $9 million. Even after all this reckless spending, Harris lost every battleground state to Donald Trump. Every one. DNC's Finance Committee Chair Liddy Lee minced no words, labeling the campaign a billion-dollar disaster. This financial mishandling raises serious questions about her management skills. We bit a bullet, and they wasted a lot of money. You might as well got Ukraine to advertise for. Oh, wait a minute, they kind of did. We'll be right back.
Quote, there is a feeling of dread among everyone. CNN's Renee Marsh is with us now. Renee, what are you hearing?
Well, John, we are in a new dystopian hellscape. That is from a federal employee via text message last night, and that is the mindset of many of the 2 million federal workers anticipating Donald Trump's return to office. Now, to be clear, what Donald Trump is promising for federal workers is unlike anything we have seen in our lifetime. He's proposing reverting to a structure of government that existed 141 years ago, when political parties gave government jobs to their supporters, and that's what has federal workers who I'm speaking to so anxious anxious and so scared about Trump's plan known as Schedule F. Now, it would give him the power to start these mass firings of nonpartisan career employees perceived as disloyal, who may get in the way of his policy actions at these agencies. As you know, Trump has obsessed on the campaign trail about the idea of federal workers being agents of the deep state working against him and his agenda. Now, some of the employees who lived through the first Trump administration say they are experiencing PTSD. One saying, quote, "We are absolutely having conversations amongst ourselves about whether we can stomach a round two." That